Let's take flight.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Let's Take Flight. And today I want to do a special video because, as y'all know, I'm fresh off the plane from New York City. I went up there for the Jay-Z concert, had the time of my life. And actually, I can't wait to go back, man. You know, it's been a long time since I've been to New York. So it was so many memories that was brought back to me when I went up there. And I think I'm gonna spend some more time in New York. I'm gonna just randomly go up there on a long weekend, you know, just to hang out. But I noticed when I was there, I was using public transportation for everything. I mean, first of all, I landed in the Newark International Airport in New Jersey, landed there, took the train from there over to Penn Station. Luckily, I was able to walk to my hotel because it wasn't that far from Penn Station. But then when I went to the concert, I used public transit again, took the train, and took the train back, and some other things I did. I was riding the subway a lot. So if I lived in a place like New York City, especially in the Manhattan area, I would definitely be using public transit every day, or taxi or Uber or something like that. I probably wouldn't own a car. You know, I'll probably invest in a bike, you know, but it got me thinking, you know, if I did live in a place like New York City or any other city in this country that has like a similar architect to New York City, San Francisco, Chicago, places like that. What credit card would I use for public transit? What credit cards would be my go-to for subways, buses, trains, Ubers, taxis, etc. And I came up with a list of several cards that I think might be a great option for this situation. So for all you guys that live in places like New York City, Chicago, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, even LA, maybe, well, LA? Nah, maybe not LA, but you know what I'm saying. Buckle up, because I got a list for y'all of some great credit cards that you can use for public transit. So let's start off with one of the first cards on my list is the American Express Green Card. Now, this is a really great card. Why? Because you give you 3x back on a lot of different categories. It's going to give you 3x back on dining. It's going to give you 3x back on travel, and it's going to give you 3x back on public transit. So again, that's buses, trains, that's subways, taxis, ride share, all 3x. And in America, American Express, for the most part, you should be good. And if you value those sweet MR points, then the American Express Green Card is a no-brainer. Now, it does come with a $150 annual fee, but if you travel somewhat and you can take advantage of that clear credit, then the American Express Green Card is a great option. You know, plus it gives you 3x back on everything travel. So, you know, when you fly, when you rent a car, when you rent a hotel, even a timeshare, vacation rentals, stuff like that, that's all going to code as 3x back. So it's a great catch-all card, if you ask me, if you live in a place like New York City where you're going to be taking public transit every single day. So the American Express Green Card, great card to have in your arsenal if you value those MR points. Now, the next card that I have on my list is the Wells Fargo Autograph card. Now, this is a card that I have personally, and I can tell you firsthand, this is a great all-around card for not just public transit, but pretty much almost anything except groceries. But it's going to give you 3x back on dining. It's going to give you 3x back on streaming services. It's going to give you 3x back on phone services. And of course, 3x back on anything travel. That's hotels, that's gas, that's EV charging, that's vacation rentals, and of course, public transit. So buses, trains, Uber, all that good stuff. So you live in a place like New York City, the Wells Fargo Autograph card is a great option, if you ask me. And Wells Fargo is actually, their platform is definitely becoming a lot more valuable. They now have Wyndham, they now have JetBlue, they now have Cathay Pacific, and they transfer to Wyndham ratio 1-2. So that is great value if you ask me. So Wells Fargo card, another great card to have if you live in a place like New York City. Next card I think that's a decent card for public transit would be the Blue Cash Preferred card from American Express. Now, this is a decent card. I never had this card before, but this is a strictly cash back card. So let's keep that in mind. You're not going to earn any points here. It's all cash. So it's going to give you 6x back on groceries. It's going to give you 3x back on gas. It's going to give you 6x back on streaming services. And of course, it's going to give you 3x back on public transit, subways, buses, etc. So great card to have in your arsenal. That card comes at a $95 annual fee. So, just keep that in mind. But for cashback card, I think it's great. And if you live in a place like New York City, where you got 3x on public transit, 6x on streaming services, everybody has some type of streaming service, and 6x back on supermarkets. That's a big one. So, everybody has to go to the supermarket. So 6x back, and especially if you live in a place like Manhattan, you're probably shopping in one of these expensive supermarkets. So to get 6x back on those expensive grocery store purchases is a plus if you ask me. So Blue Cash Preferred, decent card to have in your arsenal. Next card I think that's a decent card to have in your arsenal is, now this is going on the business side, y'all, the American Express Gold Business Card. Now, this one is only going to be for certain type of people because this card comes at a hefty $325 annual fee. But it's going to give you 3x back on flights, 3x back on hotels if you book them through the portal. And the most important part, you're going to get 4x back on your 2 top spending categories. And those categories are U.S. media providers for advertising in select online TV and radio. You got electronic retailers, software and cloud system providers. So that's like, for instance, Adobe, that you get 4x back on that. Dining, of course, gas, phone services, and of course, public transit. Now, for a card at, I said $375 annual fee. I'm sorry, y'all. $375 annual fee. I wouldn't get this card specifically for public transit. I would only get this card if you got a legitimate business and you're earning a lot of points in maybe one of these other categories. Now, the next card that I think is a decent card for public transit is the Inc. Business Preferred card. Now, this card is from Chase. It comes with a $95 annual fee. So it's a lot more reasonable than that gold card. And definitely could be a keeper card if you ask me. This is actually a card that I definitely want to add to my arsenal as one of my travel cards. But it's going to give you 3x back in a lot of categories. Shipping, for instance, advertising, internet, cable, phone, and of course, travel. And what category is included in that travel? Public transit. So this is another decent card if you ask me. And if you enjoy earning those Chase points, then 3x back on public transit, something maybe you have to do anyway, back and forth on your way to work, home, or whatever. You can't beat that. 3x back, especially for all of my Chase FI Reserve holders that don't get that 3x back anymore. So next card I think is a decent card is the Citi Strata card. Not to be mistaken with the Premier card. This is the no annual fee version. This is the white card. And I think this could be a decent card for public transit because it's going to give you 5x back on hotels, 5x back on car rentals and attractions, but you got to book it through the Citi portal. It's going to give you 3x back on supermarkets. That's a good one. 3x back on gas, EV charging, 3x back on select categories of your choice. And then of course, you're gonna get 3x back on public transit. So if you enjoy earning those great thank you points and you wanna take those points and transfer them to maybe like American Airlines. Oh yeah, and I probably should mention, if you are one of those people that do wanna transfer your points over to transfer partners, you can, but there is a caveat. For the most part, instead of getting a 1-to-1 transfer, you're going to be bringing back down from 1 to 0.7. So keep that in mind. So like a 30% decrease in points transfer. This is a great option if you ask me. This Citi is the only ecosystem where you can take those thank you points and transfer them over to American Airlines. So, and if you live in a place like New York City that has, you know, a pretty big American Airlines hub, then this could be a great option for you. Next card on my list as a decent card for public transit is the US Bank Cash Plus card. Now, this is another decent card. This card is like one of those card that earns well, but it's a boring card. So you don't really hear too many people talking about it anymore. But it's good because it's going to give you 5x back on the 2 categories of your choice. And those categories are fast food, home utilities, TV, internet and streaming, department stores, cell phones, electronic stores, sporting goods, furniture stores, movie theaters, gyms, fitness centers, select clothing stores, and of course, ground transportation. So if you need a card that's going to give you 5x back on public transit, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with the US Bank Cash Plus card. Just make sure every quarter, I think, you select transit for one of your categories, and you'll get 5x back. And it's not too many cards that's going to give you 5x back on public transit. Most of these other cards are going to get, it's 3x, 4x. This card gives you 5x. Now, this is not points, it's cash back, but still great card to have. Plus, it gives you other great categories, like I just mentioned, utilities. How many other cards are going to give you 5x back on utilities? So another great card to have in your arsenal, if you ask me, especially if you want to get 5x back on public transit. Now, I do have a few honorable mentions. I'll go through them now. And this is actually one that I used. Now, I have been using when I was in New York. And that is the Chase Freedom Flex card. Now, the reason this is a great honorable mention is because this card, as of now, is giving you 5x back on public transit. Now, if y'all that don't know, this is a 5x rotating categories card. So every quarter, the categories change based on what Chase says we're going to get 5x back on. So we don't really have much control over it. Every quarter, we just wait for Chase to tell us what we're going to get 5x on. In this quarter, we just so happen to be getting 5x back on public transit. Now, we're also getting 5x back on gas, 5x back on EV charging, and 5x back on entertainment. So while I was in New York doing all of this, I'm hopping on the subway, I'm hopping on the trains, I was using my Chase Freedom Flex, and I was getting 5x back on all of those purchases. So I've been racking up on Chase points the whole time I was up there. So as of now, this is a great card, but after the quarter is over, it's on to the next category. So I wouldn't get this card in to solely get for public transit, but if you just so happen to already have this card, you can probably guess that at least one time out the year, at least one of the quarters out the year, you're going to be able to utilize 5x on public transit. So it's a decent honorable mention. And the same with the Discover It card, which is now a Capital One card, but that's going to potentially give you 5x back on public transit, maybe once per quarter. Again, you just never know when it's going to come around, so you can't really 100% depend on it. But if you just so happen to have the card and that time comes around, that's a great time to use it. So decent card if you ask me. I got one more honorable mention, And this card is great for people that already has it, sucks for the people that don't. And that is none other than the Citi Custom Cash, right? And the reason why I say that is because us newbies, we can no longer apply for this card. So for us, it's a no-go. However, if you already have the card, then great for you. You can still use it. And this card is going to give you 5x back on whatever category you spend the most money in each month. And of course, one of those categories is transit. Let's just say you spend a lot of money in public transit, especially if you live in a place like New York where public transit is somewhat expensive. Well, subway is not that expensive. But if you're doing things like maybe taking trains like the Amtrak, or maybe you're taking a New Jersey train from Manhattan over to New Jersey every day, now that could be expensive. So at the end of the month, you might be at a couple $100. Maybe you want to take that Citi Custom Cash and pair it with the Citi Strata. The Citi Strata is going to give you 3x back. So once that 5x category is maxed out at $500, then you got the Strata you can fall back on, and you can still rack up those thank you points. Could be a great option. But yeah, the Citi Custom Cash, great for those that already have it, sucks for those that don't. But that's my list. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will see y'all in the next one. And also get in the comment section and let me know if I missed any, because there's so many credit cards out there, so many new setups that I might have missed one or two. And there may be some cash back cards out there that could be a great option too that I skipped over. Because I don't know it all. I really don't. I learned a lot from y'all guys as well. But y'all get in that comment section, y'all let me know. And we appreciate y'all time, and we will see y'all in the next one. Peace and travel safe.